guys. Hey guys, retired Lieutenant Todd Heaton here with Humilitas First. By far, the best defense to this kind of problem is to avoid this vulnerable position to begin with. That body of knowledge could be a whole class regarding dangerous areas, dangerous men, dangerous times, and becoming more efficient in areas of vulnerability.
As soon as I look and I see that, I'm bursting and I'm creating this space here so that I'm not getting my arms pinned to my side.
Take note, this guy is not that much taller than this girl. He probably outweighs her, so he's bigger, faster, and definitely stronger. Let's see what happens. This happened in Houston, Texas, and it was a jugging incident, which is just a robbery. She went to the bank. I believe she withdrew like $4,300, which he ends up taking from her, and he follows her or confronts her at some point following her withdrawal from the bank. So he picks her up and in midair rotates her body so that she goes head down, neck down, back down first, lands probably on her head or the back of her neck. She's folded over. These are her legs. This is her back. Her head is down. He uses the earth as an impact weapon, uses the concrete as an impact weapon. She ends up paralyzed from the waist down. So let's talk a little bit about to what degree action beats reaction. How long does it take the bad guy to act by wrapping his left hand around her and locking it in? Between 1/4 and 1/3 of 1 second. Even when you expect it, some of the best law enforcement reaction times that I've seen on video were just under a half second, just over 4/10 of a second. Up to a certain point, action beats reaction. That's when you expect it. What happens when you get surprised? It's not uncommon to see reactionary times of 1.5 seconds. So if he's locking it in, pinning her arms against her sides in just under 1/3 of 1 second.
As soon as I look and I see that, I'm bursting and I'm creating this space here so that I'm not getting my arms pinned to my side.
No, I'm not buying this part of the technique. Technique is important. It's very important. But you have to have physicality too. Because, if you're able to create an opening, create an opportunity, what are you going to do with that opportunity? And if there's a huge discrepancy between your physicality and your attacker's physicality and your attacker's mindset, you're going to have a problem. If your mindset is competitive, juxtaposed to decisively winning the fight, and if it's a deadly force situation, that means incapacitation. And if it happens, then you have to win decisively. Combat should not be fair. You want to do that? Go join the UFC. However, combat or legitimate self-defense, it has to be proportional, which essentially means don't use deadly force unless you're facing an imminent deadly force threat. So one other thing to consider here is when it comes to technique, I'm not worried about fighting a Krav Maga black belt or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Why? Because those folks have self-discipline. They are not unjust criminal aggressors. The vast majority of bad guys, they don't have any of these disciplines. They don't have any of this training. They just use brute violence.
A frantic woman races up to a neighbor's door. Will someone help her? Out of the darkness, this guy appears and grabs her by the hair. He drags the woman off the porch. Her screams ring out as the struggle goes on. Then the guy delivers a grim warning.
A chilling attack in Brooklyn is caught on camera. A woman is tossed to the ground and sexually assaulted.
In this case, bigger is questionable, but we've got faster and stronger. Plus, he's using surprise, speed, and violence of action. He's using momentum. Momentum works. Granted, this woman clearly doesn't have the technique or skill sets as the Krav Maga black belt, and this remained a low-level grappling kind of attempted kidnapping. But just look at the physicality difference. She just slides as he slowly moves her forward. What then is the solution? The story of Judith. From the book of Judith, it highlights the value of cunning and decisive action in self-defense. While her methods would face legal issues today, elements of her methods like using a blade in a life-threatening situation, well, that can be lawful. As a woman, if you're about to be kidnapped, raped, or facing any other imminent threat of great bodily harm or death, a blade, coupled with cunning, can be a good choice. But ultimately, the firearm is a great equalizer. So, three armed men break into this Gwinnett County, Georgia residence, and they're confronted by this woman who, comparatively speaking, is small in stature. What do you think she's going to be able to do physically? I don't care what kind of black belt she has. No, it's through her decisive violence of action with the firearm as she engages one of the armed men, ultimately killing him, while all three flee the premises. Look, when the smoke settles and the dust clears, the great equalizer, well, that's the answer.